Welcome to this Blender tutorial. This is done in Blender 2.8 and is done in 3D Blender. Ball bearing. Well, all we're going to use in this tutorial is balls. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. As you can see, everything in this actual from the actual sandpit itself is a ball. I'll explain later. This tutorial was done by Terry Cassidy. Please subscribe. All we're going to be using in this tutorial today is the sphere. So I'm going to modeling. Make sure we're in the modeling mode. Add an object, mesh, UV sphere. That is going to be my actual body of my bear. So I'm just going to duplicate that. So Shift D, Enter G, Z. Scale that down. S 0.5. That's going to be my head. I'm going to Shift duplicate again. G, Y, move that forward. G, Y, move it forward, sorry. There we go. That's going to be the muzzle on the front, body, head. Shift duplicate again. G, X, move it in the X direction to the left. That's going to be the arm. So Shift, duplicate the body. G, X, and that's going to be the leg. So, it sounds a bit. We've got the arm there. We're going to have the leg there, head's there, and the snout's there. Right. Let's start again. Right. So first of all, I'm going to go into proportional editing up here. So I'm going to go into hit the tab key to go into edit mode. Go into proportional editing, which is on this top bar somewhere, and there it is. It's like a bullseye. You know when it's selected because the bullseye highlights. So I'm going to select that point in the middle by selecting the vertex. Scroll it down there so it's easier to see it. And then G, Z, and I'm making like an egg shape. If you scroll up and down with your scroll wheel, you need a scroll wheel mouse to do this tutorial, and it makes it much easier to actually use Blender anyway. I suggest you buy one if you haven't already got one. They're very cheap these days. Right. And then G, Z, move the bottom point up. It's got a little pot belly, I think, this one, so I'm just going to G, move that in the Y direction. And I'm going to straighten the back out, so G, Y, oh, sorry, G, Y, and I've got my roof shape of my actual teddy bear. Next thing is I'm going to make the roof shape of the head. So come out of edit mode, hit the tab key, select the head. That's the body. This is going to be the head. That's going to be the snout. That's going to be the left arm. Right arm, and that's going to be the right leg. So the next one I'm going to do is I'm going to take the snout, rotate it in the X direction by 90 degrees, and then I'm going to make squish it in the Z direction. So scale Z, squish it there to get a more muzzly shape, and then I'm going to scale it in from front to back as well. So scale Y. It says scale Y, scale X, X is on the red line, Y is on this green line, and Z is from top to bottom. I don't know why Z hasn't actually got a, as you can see in this little corner here, it shows you them. You can actually move things. You can move the viewpoint around like that, but the easiest way to move things is to G, then Z, moves it up and down, G, Y, moves it forwards and backwards, G, Z, X, left and right. Right, go back to the front. What I'm going to do is centralize this again. So G, X, let's scale it down, and then G, Y to move it. And what I'm going to do is actually just move it to about halfway in there. I don't know if you ever noticed it there, but the muzzle is the muzzle or the mouth part is usually further down. So G and Z, move it down. I'll move it to about there for now. And that will do me for now. Move the body up slightly, GZ, so it's touching. Next, what I'll do is I'm going to rotate this arm, rotate X90, and then we're going to scale it down so it's a lot smaller, and then we're going to edit mode, grab the back side of this, and G, Y, as you can see, move this down, and we've got an arm, and then G and X just to make it bend in slightly, and that's it. We have the arm. We'll smooth this by right clicking and putting smooth, and then shift and duplicate, press enter, and rotate in the Y direction by 180. Move it slightly to the side, G and then X, and that says two arms. So I'm just going to grab these by, grab one, hold the shift down, grab the other one, G, G, Y. Looks like eyes, but no, it isn't. G, Z, move them into the dark arms, and then just grab these individually, and G, X, so it sort of touches the actual outside of the body. G, X, there we go, that's one. G, X, same again, just so it just slightly goes into it. I think the arms are a little bit too short at the minute. I'm just going to lengthen them, scale in the Y direction. And G, Y to move them forward. That's Teddy's arms. Now let's make the leg. So grab grab the ball at the side, press the R key, rotate in the X direction and see the red line come on by 90, press enter. Same again, we're going to do something similar for these to make the legs. So G, make it a bit bigger in the Y direction, which is towards us. and all we're doing is making the legs sort of thing. Select the centre again. At the minute I'm not bothered about scale. G, X, sorry, G, Y. Massive leg. And then select everything by pressing A, come out of edit mode, and then scale down. G and X, make it a bit closer. I don't want to touch it just yet, but because what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the centre of this. I've gone back into edit mode. G, Y, and I'm going to go really close this time, and I'm going to put a dip in there, because what we're going to do is we're going to put a pad in there for this simple there, and we're going to do that by adding another UV sphere. Oops. G and X, look from the front, rotate in the X direction by 90. And as you can see, I've totally messed that up, so Control Z to undo everything. Right, what I'm going to do is start again. Come out of edit mode, then add a mesh and a UV sphere. Gee, I'll move this forward now. Rotate it in the X direction, 90. Scale it down. Scale it in the Y direction, because this is just going to be the pad of the foot. So G, all I'm doing is placing this on there. I'll look from the front by pressing the 1 key, scale it down, G, move it into place, and G and Y. And join these two together. In fact, I'm just going to change this first. Tab. I'm going into tab mode, and I'm just going to move this G, Y, sorry, G, X. So that's me, the leg. First of all, I'm just going to attach these. Sorry. Come out of edit mode, select that, press the shift key, select that, quickly join these just to move them into position. G, Z, G, X, G, Y to move them forward. Scale it in the Y direction to make it a little bit longer. And then what I'm going to do is move that until that point goes into the G and Y. Oops, sorry. G and X. G and Y. As you can see, the leg has just seemed to gone into the body. Same again with this. I'm going to duplicate these now. So Shift and D to duplicate. Rotate by 180 degrees. As you can see that, because I haven't actually specified which direction I'm going to do it, it does it the wrong way. So Control Z to undo that then. So rotate Y 180. Select that leg, G, and then X, move it to the other side. Y. I think the bear's head's a bit too small at the minute, but we'll sort that out in a minute. So, in fact, we'll sort it out now. Scale in the X direction, scale in the Y direction, and scale in the Z direction, so it just looks right. G, Z to move it up slightly. And scale in the Y direction, because I don't think it looks quite wide enough. Yep, and there we have the head. I think I'm going to make the head point slightly, so G and Z. Might sound silly, but I just think it'll look good, but I don't know why. Right, and the next thing we're going to do is add a mesh, and guess what it's going to be? I bet you can't. So add a UV sphere again. Now I've done it again, I've left myself in edit mode, so there's two ways of doing this. I mean, I've now attached that to that object. If I press the P key, I can separate by the selection. So that's now separated. It just saves Control Z in it and undoing it also. G and X. I'm going to rotate this by X and then 90 degrees. That's why you do it. What it's done is put the origin of the thing somewhere in mid-air. So I'm just going to change the origin on this one. So object, set origin, center of mass. That puts the origin back in the center. So I'm just going to, what we're going to make out of this one is the actual ear. So scale in the Y direction, and then select the center, G and Y, make a little dip in it, and G and Z, take it up slightly. Or is it down? I don't know where my ears. Let's change the shape of the ear by selecting one of these verts up here. So G, let's make it a little ear shape. That's quite a good ear. And obviously scale it down. Right. Doing this recording earlier on, and it crashed on me without reason. G, X, and that is one of the reasons you need to save things frequently, because I was halfway through this tutorial and it right annoys you. And mind you, lose all your work, so I'm just going to save this quickly. Save as. See, that's my first go, and this is my second 2.2. So hit plus key, 2.2. And G, I'm just going to move this into place before I duplicate it. So GY, and what I'm going to do is now I'm just going to actually control and duplicate it. I'm sorry, Shift D to duplicate it, and then I'm going to control and I'm going to mirror it. G and Y and X, sorry, and as you can see that's not mirrored, so Control M X, that's it. Yeah, I forgot to hit the X after the end of it to actually tell it which direction to mirror it in. G X, just to move it slightly in there. Right. I'll scale this snout slightly up. Scale. Oops. Don't know. Doesn't look right. That doesn't look wrong either. G, Y. Don't understand it. It just doesn't look quite right. But let's put the nose on and everything just to see if it's just me not understanding things. So, right. What I'm going to do is smooth all these objects off a bit just to make it more smooth. Smooth. The head smooth. Ears smooth. Other ear smooth. Arms look a bit puny and small. Just scale them up slightly. G and Y. I don't know. Are teddy bears' arms small or big? I'm not so sure. We'll alter them later on. And smooth this snout off as well. The one thing we haven't got on the actual snout here is we could do with a little, I don't know, a little smiley face. So I'll just show you something. Alright. All I'm going to do is go into items here, because I'm going to collapse workspace. No, options, auto merge. I'm going to get rid of some geometry here. So let me shut that back down by hitting the auto merge key here. So let me minimize these. The reason I'm doing that is because it makes for poor geometry. So select the line here, select this edge, Alt and left click, and then GG, and what that's just done is merged everything into the center. And I didn't want it to do that. And why did it do that? GG, GG. Ah, right, because we've got proportional editing. Turn that off for the second. GG. Just put that point in there, so Z. I'm going to select everything apart from that point. Fact, I need to select it all. GG. Right, let's bring that down there. Huh. Right, I see. Right. Got a problem here because I'm going to actually create poor topology. So what I'm going to do is select that face, X, and I'm going to do what I call a limited dissolve. That way, that should make it much cleaner geometry. That's better, yeah. So select this edge again. Right, select edge. I've lost my mouse. Select the edge. Press Alt and Shift. GG. That's better. That's much better. And now what I'm going to do is in the center here, I'm just going to Control R. Because what I'm doing is making the little little mouth that a little bear has, so Control R. So what I'm going to do is get edge select, and I'm going to select that one there, and that one there, that one there, and these two either side. In fact, make it these three either side. Then E, in the Y direction, extrude in the Y, press enter, and then when I subdivide this in a second, add modifier, subdivide surface, see that, that's a cute little smile. And I haven't gone far enough. Needed to be further up, didn't it? Right, so start again. Go to the edge. Lost my edge. And 3 on that side. 3 on that side. Oops. Selected the wrong one. 3 on that side. Extrude E in the Y direction this time. Out of edit mode, and then, like I say, we're just going to subdivide this once and apply. See, that way it keeps the geometry clean. Might not look like it, but it does. And we've got the cute little face of the bear. Next thing we're going to do is add another mesh. This time, guess where it's going to be? UV sphere again. Rotate X 90. G to move it up in the air. Scale it down. Scale it in the Y direction. S, Y. And this is going to make the button nose. G. Scale it down even further. Smooth it off. Scale in the X direction. Personal preference how big you make your nose on your bear. I like the little button noses, but it's up to you how you make your bear. And I'm going to scale that down. G, Z. You might decide that you want a big nose, little nose, whatever nose you want. Same goes for the eyes. We'll just duplicate this little button nose. So, or should we? Now, I think we'll add another mesh and UV sphere. Reason for this is rotate X 90. Because I believe these should be round actually. So G, Y, move it to the front. Scale it down. G, Y. I'm sorry. G, Z, even. I've put my eye. G. See, I've moved it right to the front. There's no big problem. G, Y, and then move it back towards your model. Looking from the front. So G, X, move it so it's just at the side of the nose, scale it down slightly again, Shift D, G, X, and select both eyes, G, Y, G, Z, now scale them both down together, scale Y, I think that's about right. Legs in the wrong place, so I think that leg there needs to be moved back a bit, GY, so it matches up. Beauty about Blender is it's got these little grid lines and things that helps you line things up. The legs look a bit big as well, so I'm going to scale them down, and then move them back, GY. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to these pads are going to be a different colour on the bottoms of these, so I'm going to select, press double A to actually deselect everything, L to select that, P to split that selection, then I'm out of edit mode, go into the other side, same again, P by selection. And what I've done is they're going to be light brown, the muzzle's going to be light brown, and the bear itself is going to be dark brown. So what I'm going to do is separate them all off from everything. In fact, I'm going to join them together. Right click and join them all together. Same with these are all going to be the same brown. So select that one, select that one, select that one, select that one, select that, the two ears, and join them together. So I'm going to call them, go up here into the spheres, as you can see lots of spheres, call them light brown, light brown bear, and the other ones I'm going to call dark brown bear, dark brown bear. So I've got light brown bear and I've got dark brown bear. No, I haven't. Why has that not changed? Dark brown bear. And we've got the two eyes. Call them eyes. EYES. Join them together. Join eyes. And the last one, of course, we will call that the nose. Press enter. And now we're going to save it again. File, save as. Press the plus key, and that's 2.3. It's the second time I've had to go at it because it's crashed once before. Right. Next thing we're going to do is add a colour. So go down here to materials, press the materials, new material. I'm going to use the principal shader for this again. Call this first material dark brown. And we'll change the colour. What we're going to do is we're going to do a colour ramp because it's going to have hairs on it or fur. So it's going to go from one colour to another colour. So add a center. There we go. Add another ramp. I'm just taking them away. This is silly. Ramp. That's it. The reason I'm adding 3 ramps is going to get 3 colours. I'm going to get almost black here. And then in the middle, I'm getting middle brown. Quite a dark brown. And in the top, a very light brown. There we go. That's a nice colour ramp. And then I'm going to duplicate this colour again by pressing this. Let's widen this so I can actually see it. See, but we're going to call this one light brown. In fact, we'll call it light tan. So that's the colour I want to do it. Change the colour. And this one, we're going to change it to white. Nearly white. So if we look at it, we've got 2 colours. We've got 2 colours. One's dark brown, one's light tan. So the body I'm going to make dark brown. Select on there so you can see it, and the bottom of the feet I'm going to make light tan. There we go. No, it don't look too good. And now I'm going to start saving it quite a lot of times because I keep losing it. You can never save something enough. Next thing I'm going to do is add the fur to the light brown part. So hit the particle system, press the plus key, change it to hair, go into advanced. As you can see, the hair is only coming from the feet and the muzzle because that's all selected when I added the particle. I've just remembered something. I'm just going to remove the particle for the minute. The particles work better if there's quite an high subdivision. So I'm going to add the subdivision modifier and take it up by another one, and then apply, and same with the body. See, if you look at the actual muzzle now, there's a lot more, because every single joint you get a hair coming out of it. So add a modifier, subdivide surface again, just by one, apply it, right, we'll start again, right. So now we're going to select the muzzle and the actual bottoms of the feet, add the particle modifier, plus, hit the air, leave that at 1000 for the minute, change that to advanced, in render there, you need to add light tan. And there's one thing I forgot to do, but we will do it now. go back into the actual into here, hit the little dot at the side of the factor. Right, I've gone back into the material, the light tan, hit the factor at the side here, little dot, and scroll all the way up to here, and you will see intercept under hair info intercept. Hit the intercept button, and as you can see now, it's added different coloured variations to the hairs. Back into the particle system. First thing that we want to alter it is 0.02, which is the length, so less than 2 centimeters. Then we need to add some children, interpolate it, and then make this 20, which increases the hairs. Same on the bottom of the feet. Sometimes you get this happening where the actual geometry seems to have messed itself up, and that's what's happened here. Sometimes, like the hairs are missing off the bottom of these feet, so sometimes you've got to go into mesh, go into edit mode, sorry, A to select everything. I'll keep pressing A until everything lights up. Then go into mesh, into normals, and then you put recalculate outsides. That's all you need to do, and then as you can see, the hair has appeared properly on the bases of the feet. I'm going to save that one, file, save as. Does an approximation of the actual hair, so this is not what it's actually finally going to look like, but it just gives you an idea. The next thing we're going to do is select the brown, same again, we go into the actual material, go into the factor, go into hair, hair info, intercept. See, now it's like changed the bear into a darker colour because it's now showing the centre of the colour. And then all we've got to do is add the hair. So plus, you can actually, you could make this brown fur or change the name up in here. So if you wished, select the hair. Select the advanced tab again. As you can see, it's all different colours. Change the length of the hair to 0.5, still too long. 0.05. Sorry, 0.05. Number of segments 7. Sometimes it's nice to put a bit of randomness into it as well, so go to the children, select interpolate, change that to 20, and before I go any further I'm going to save again, save as. And then as you can see, we've got air again. Still doesn't look right on the ears and everything, so we'll recalculate again. So go into edit mode, double A to select all, into mesh, into normals, recalculate outside, and tab to take yourself back out of it. And I'm just going to increase the air. This is usually where it crashes. And take that to 3000 hairs. Same with the feet. I'll take that up to 2000 because it's a smaller area. And now I'm just going to render it. Press F12. Just show you what it's doing. You can't really see it, but that's what it's looking like so far. And then you just keep tweaking around with these. That's the air length. I think I've changed the air length slightly longer on the body, so select the body 0.07. And then finally what I'm going to do is change the air shape. I'll make it 2, which makes it thicker. Change the strand shape up to 0.78. Makes the strand slightly thicker. And so does the radius scale. I'm increasing now. Right. Look through the camera. Just look through the camera. Just move the camera G. In fact, I'll just change the camera so I can see the there better. G. I'm just moving the camera. What we're going to do is render it again. Let's have a look. And as you can see, the reason we've got some weird geometry on here, I don't think we've got enough subdivision on these, so I'm just going to subdivide that slightly more, on the arms especially. So select the arms. In fact, select the arms, add a subdivision, add subdivided surface, change this up to 2, so it gives it a slightly different shape of hair, and I'm just going to apply that subdivision surface to it. Render it again. It looks like the skin's showing through on the actual bear. Maybe the skin's too dark. Just let me change the colour of the skin of that dark brown bear. Maybe I've made it too black. Into the colour. Select dark brown. F12 to render again. That's better. That's much better. Let's just escape from the render. And then you keep messing about with the actual layers and everything until you get the desired effect. Let's have a look at that. You can actually put a kink in there. Let's just say I'll just try a curl. That doesn't look right. Radial. Radial might look good. Wave. No, I don't think wave will look good. Spiral. Now, let's try radial. F12. Looks like a shaggy old bear. quite liking that. Alright, so I'm going to select the eyes and create another material. This time the material is just going to be a new material. I'm sorry, a new material. So I'm just going to go plus, and the new material will be black eyes. So nearly black. Make a nice shiny material, so quite metallic. Oxidate, I don't want that. Oh, I'm selected on the burr rather than thingy, so let's change that to dark brown, sorry. Select the eyes. And select the black eyes. Got to select all these one by one. Keep selecting the wrong things. So select the eyes, black eyes, and select the body again. And change that to brown fur again. Let's just have a look at that. I'll just render it out. F12. Looks like the eyes have hidden themselves, so I'm just going to fetch the eyes forward slightly. I'll make them slightly bigger. Scale. That's a scary bear. Let's make the eyes a bit more shiny. Escape. Back into the material. Take the roughness down to nothing. Smooth the eyes out. Smooth the nose out. G, Z, sorry, Y. Render it out again. And you can keep messing about with these. Every time I actually do a different bear, I get a different bear. Which is quite good because you can make a great big family of bears very, very easy. I'm just going to save that. Save as. Then you change the lighting and everything. I'll show you a bear that I've actually I'm quite proud of because it's took me quite a long time to do, and it's the one that I just put this into let's have a look. If I just put this into cycles rather than EV, we should be able to. No, that's absolute rubbish. F12. In fact, that's Evil Bear. This one's Evil Bear. I'll show you my cute bear. File. Open. what you can do as well is you can actually comb the hair of your bear. You do this by going to particle edit, and you can actually comb your bear's hair, believe it or not. You can really change it. You know, say the arm there, it just didn't look right because they were tufted, so time. Well, not every time, but you've got to be prepared. It's no great hassle because I saved it a couple of seconds beforehand. So file, open, discount changes. There you are. That's the beauty about saving something. F12, and you've got your bear back again. I did want to show you it combing it, so just let me see if I can actually do it. But basically, let's just comb its head there. File, save as. I'm just going to save it before I even comb it. Plus, and back into object mode and F12. See, as you can see on the side of its face here, we've just combed its hair. Let's just try combing it on its arm there. So I'll go into particle mode, combing its arm. What it might be is that you might have to go back into object mode, then save it to secure it. Save as 10. Let's have a look if its arm's been combed. So F12. Nope, that's even worse, but so I think it must be something to do with recalculate normals, but I'm just going to try and recalculate normals again. It just doesn't look right. Say, not even the best person in the world can actually do it right every single time, so go into edit mode, A to select all, mesh, normals, calculate normals outside, tab, let's lengthen the hair slightly. That's it. Back into it. So you can mess about with this forever. There's a beauty about fur and bears, and here's one I've done earlier though. Right. Let me just render this. F12. Just to make it a bit simpler. As you can see, it's taking a while to actually draw this piece by piece. And I've used a lot higher resolution for this. I've also added a ball, but I haven't included this in the tutorial. As you can see, it's pretty much the same bear. I've just messed about with the hair until I've got it just right. Unfortunately, halfway through recording, I had a big major crash, and there you are. Because I do these through maybe 4 or 5 times while I'm learning how to do it, and this is still drawing it. This is going to take a while. And that's it. It's finished actually doing the... and as you can see, that's it. The render's finished. It only took 20 minutes to do it. No, it didn't actually. It took about 4 minutes, but still too long. Join me in the next tutorial. Don't know where it's going to be yet, but I've enjoyed doing this bear tutorial. Please join me again another day. Please subscribe. Bare necessities, those bare necessities. Forget about your troubles and your strife. Oh, those bare necessities. I don't know if this is recorded alright, but we'll see.